close to the way you're going to catch him. Do you realize that? Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
You told me you don't spook easily.
You call this easy, sir?
Lecter's missing hand arm.
Man's a raving maniac. Who knows what he'll do?
Thank you, Clarice. Thank you.
Welcome back to the 11th annual Halloween special. Tonight we're talking about a film that I can't believe I've never reviewed on this channel, the all-time serial killer classic, The Silence of the Lambs. Starred Jodie Foster in her second Oscar win after The Accused. She plays a young FBI cadet who must receive the help of an incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer, known as Buffalo Bill. Anthony Hopkins plays Hannibal Lecter in a role that won him an Oscar, brought him A-list fame, and universal acclaim. Whenever anybody talks about the best villains in movies, Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter is always mentioned, at least in the top 5. The film had a considerable impact on thrillers, especially movies like David Fincher's Seven, which I don't even think would exist without Silence of the Lambs. Both of them deal with very grisly serial killer murders, Silence of the Lambs being one of the first movies to really depict extremely gruesome and realistic crime scenes and dead bodies. Seven followed in its footsteps a few years later and was also scored by Howard Shore, just like this film. First and foremost, Clarice Starling and Jodie Foster's portrayal of her. She's almost consistently surrounded by men, all of whom are more powerful than her and farther up the ladder at the FBI. They all seem to look at her in only a couple different ways. Like, for instance, oh, that's cute, look at how she's trying to be an FBI agent. Or they're attracted to her and are making her feel very uncomfortable. Both Demme and the legendary Tak Fujimoto as cinematographer consistently puts us in Starling's shoes, making everyone stare at us as if we have entered into her POV. When we're on Starling, though, she's looking just slightly off camera, just over the lens. But when we're in her POV, everyone's staring at us. And it really does make you feel like you are her, trying to survive in this world that's run by men. And I wonder if certain characters like Gillian Anderson in The X-Files would exist without a movie like The Silence of the Lambs. It was definitely a very positive stepping stone in that direction. And Jodie Foster absolutely earned that Oscar win. Early on in the movie when she's running through the course, I love that we see her climb the net and get down on the other side. It's not a stunt double, that's really her. She seems to have virtually no social life outside of this case. She really genuinely wants this more than anything, which is why when she's assigned to go meet with Hannibal Lecter, one of the most notorious serial killers of all time, to try to get information about Buffalo Bill, she jumps at the chance despite how terrifying it will likely be. The lead-in to Hannibal Lecter is absolutely brilliant because everyone talks about this guy. He has stories that have gone down in legend, and everyone's scared of him. You haven't even seen his face yet. Anthony Hopkins hasn't even graced us with his incredible performance yet, and we're already scared of him. But when we meet him, and he's just standing up, staring directly at us, smiling, it's one of the most unnerving and enthralling reveals of a villain I've ever seen. He is truly magnificent in the film. He rarely blinks, and he speaks as if he's some kind of disturbed combination of Katharine Hepburn and Truman Capote. Sometimes you hear about a movie over and over again that you've never seen. Everyone tells you it's great, and it's one of those movies you have just got to see. You're not a real film lover unless you see this movie. And sometimes you watch that movie and you're like, okay, come on, man, like, really? That's not the case with Silence of the Lambs. This is a masterful film on every level when it comes to acting and directing and writing. So let's talk a little bit about Buffalo Bill. Ted Levine is a brilliant and masterful actor, and he is terrifying in this role. He has a way with words that makes everything he says disturbing. His put the lotion in the basket scene is iconic for a reason. Now that we've covered that, I want to talk about the title. The Silence of the Lambs is one of the best movie titles ever. Obviously, it's based off of a novel, but it is so difficult to find a great title like this. Sometimes you see a movie and you're like, well, of course, that should have been called Spider-Man, or that should have definitely been called Die Hard. That just makes sense, right? Or Jaws. Then other times you see a film that has a title that just You don't really know what it means. It's difficult to market. And yet when you see the movie, you're like, well, of course it should be called that. And sometimes when these more artsy titles are tried for, they come off very cheesy and you know they're just trying way too hard. But there's a pivotal scene in this movie where Lecter forces Starling to talk about herself. And she brings up this horrifying memory of her youth where she found someone slaughtering lambs and they were screaming. And she thinks that if she can save this one girl who's been abducted by Buffalo Bill, maybe those lambs will stop screaming. It's such an incredible title. When I do these Halloween special videos and I rewatch movies I've seen many times, I always take notes. But as soon as Lecter starts his plan to escape by seeing that pen, and you watch as the wheels begin to turn in his head and he knows, I'm about to escape, I stopped taking notes. I was so invested in the movie, even though I've seen it multiple times, I just didn't want to look at my notepad. I was just done. I really wanted to watch the movie. It's a fantastic third act, and somehow the movie puts you on the side of Lecter. You want him to beat the shit out of those cops and eat their faces. And his plan of escaping is so ingenious, and you don't really pick up on it at first. There's this lingering shot of the cop's body, and then it hits you and you know exactly what's going down, and it's so exciting. And the way the movie plays a bait and switch on you, thinking that the cops have found Buffalo Bill's house, but it's actually Starling who's there. And suddenly you realize that she's alone in the middle of this small town in Ohio, and backup is not coming, and we know what Buffalo Bill is capable of doing. It's one of the most tense and exciting finales of any thriller ever made. Silence of the Lambs is absolutely a masterpiece for a reason. Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter is going to be remembered forever. He is so good in this movie, and he left such a major impact with just about 24 minutes of screen time. And it's a fantastic film, and if you've never seen it, well, I mean, it's definitely one of those ones you should check off pretty soon. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon on the 11th annual Halloween special. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.